Good morning to all who can make it here today, and welcome to TASIS graduation ceremony for the class of 2019. I know it's very hot here, but please join me in giving a round of applause for all students, teachers, parents, faculties, and guests. We, together, made it through the rough series of IB, AP, and other TASIS senior exams. Let me ask a question. After all those ironic walks to Kajoya, the house of uphill joy, all the coffees we drank for preparing exams, all the neocessions we downed from the nurses, all the food delivered from Devora and Speedy Pizza, after all the detentions, what made me a confident, yes, a happy person you see in front of you? And what is it that we'll pack in our suitcases of our minds, heading off for bright and still obscure futures? Do you remember when, at least I remember when, in the first year, when we all walked into high school for the first time? We all went and dreamt about how we would celebrate after we finished school. I don't know how many of you remember what you planned in 9th grade to do after graduation. We were so young, we basically knew nothing about what was going to happen in the next 4 years. I remember my very first Spanish class. I knew nothing about Spanish when I walked into that class. I didn't know how to answer any of the questions. I had no self-esteem. I was so scared, and all I said was sí or no. And now, 4 years later, when asked a pregunta in español, I proudly can still answer in sí or no. Me, also, waking up to Dr. Love's beautiful prose, let me correct that, yelling at 6 in the morning when we're supposed to leave for basketball tournament at 5:30 was another almost terrifying event. Senioritis and procrastination defined this year pretty well. We all had those days when we say, oh, I'll study in 5 minutes. And we check our phone, procrastinate for a solid hour, then recognizing how much work there is to be done and stressing even more of the overdue works. Oh well. If you ask me what I've learned this year, I can definitely claim I've learned to procrastinate properly. Well, even with procrastination, on a positive note, we all made it through exams. Listening to Mr. Stickley saying, does anyone have unauthorized materials in his or her possessions? And yes, Mr. Stickley, I do not need you to send the recorded file over summer break. Well, no more stressing over the past and worrying about what we already did. So, what did we gain out of past events? The class of 2019, I can arrogantly claim, will be the most remarkable class in TASIS history. We, as a class of 2019, have outstanding achievements in academics and sports, as we all know. We have seen outstanding achievements also in the arts and music, from the famous Tic-Tac-Toe series to the elegant paintings, outstanding guitarists, and the beloved flautist. We're ready to plunge into the world, ready to find ourselves a life to live. So, if you ask me what I've learned from 4 years of studying TASIS, apart from academics, I can say, with confidence, 2 words. You can surely guess them already. Confidence and positivity. These words, in my own handwriting, graced in a single paper, taped to the wall, looming by my desk. But these words follow me to Ethiopia. There I was in an elementary school in Addis Ababa, standing before hundreds of children, hanging on my words. It was truly nerve-wracking. I was away from home in a completely foreign country. Yet, I was the first one to eagerly approach and teach the kids. I was excited. The kids welcomed me with their vibrant smiles, with their pure eyes. They smiled at every word. Even knowing their name made them happy. Looking back now, with a positive attitude, all the events seem to be something fun and memorable. Even Mr. Oguvi going dotty with his diagrams in chemistry class, and the legendary Zurich academic travel, I no longer, so to speak, hibernate. I've changed. I am, in fact, positive and confident. So, we, the leaders, the class of 2019, are the leaders of the new generation in the 21st century. Who cares if life can be difficult? We haven't started anything yet. We still have many more years to enjoy, laugh, and love. Just like I wrote on my hand in these heady years at TASIS, I'll write them again. Confidence and positivity. Thank you.